So honestly, I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty psyched to be doing this video. Um, so recently in a group, free group call that I had, we were talking about um, ways that we all can create more platonic touch and connection in our lives. And I was like, well, you know what? For example, um, one way that I can do that is I could ask a guy who I know who's like kind of acquaintance, kind of friend. We're not super close. I can ask him, um, would he be into hugs? And uh, I said like, okay, I'm gonna do that. Like, and I committed to the group. I'm gonna do that by I think it was like next week or something. Um, and to be honest, when I said it, I was like, I got this. Like, it's good. It pushes me some, stretches me, but like, I got this. And I never shared a hug with him. I've known him for a little while now, and I'm gonna be really honest and authentic with you that I was freaking scared. Like when I actually got to it, I was freaking scared. Oh, I really resisted it. I really wanted to run away. While I share hugs with a lot of my friends, actually, I'd say almost all my friends. Um, and I have like friendships with men that we share platonic cuddling and a lot of like platonic intimacy, things like that. I wasn't especially close to this guy, and I know that he had already said that he's not into platonically cuddling with men, and I just didn't know what his thoughts were on it and his feelings, what his reaction would be, and for me, it feels much more challenging, much more of at least a perceived risk to ask someone like that, would they be into sharing some kind of platonic touch that we don't do, or maybe that's a little bit outside of cultural norms. Um, so again, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It took me from like the time that I thought about it to the time I said it. It took me like about 72 hours or like 3 days, and there was definitely like two times where I thought about it, I thought I could ask him and bring it up, and I chose not to because I was afraid. Um, and that's okay. If I want to be more harsh on myself, like maybe I wussed out. It's okay though. I think this is, for me at least, for most of us, this is challenging stuff. Um, and then again, to to be really honest, a lot of my motivation to do it is it was like, I need to do this. Like if I'm going to be encouraging others to take risks, to be courageous and have some vulnerability to step through to still act when they're feeling feelings. Um, like I'm going to need to, I need to do this myself. Um, and I had that accountability that like, to be honest, I felt fear that I'm like, I don't want to show up with someone else that I said to this on this call that I'm going to do this and then be like, oh, so do you do that? And be like, no, I didn't. I was out for the last week or months. So there really that like accountability and that deadline really motivated me in a very positive way to do it. Um, Other things that helped me was I went through my thought process some of like, what are my fears? Like, what do I fear happening if I ask? Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? And as I thought about that, I'm like, not much. Like, maybe I'll feel some awkwardness. Maybe I'll feel some emotions of discomfort, some fear, shame, maybe. Maybe they'll feel some of that. Maybe they'll think I'm weird. Maybe they'll feel awkward. Maybe he will feel awkward. But as I thought about, like, okay, that may happen. That's totally reasonable. But like realistic, negative outcomes beyond that, there wasn't much likely. Like, knowing him, like, it wasn't likely that it was going to really like damage our connection, or anything else really negative was going to happen. So it was really mostly like fear of me feeling feelings and having thoughts. So that helped me some to like ground more and be more okay with it. And I definitely was scared about like how am I going to bring this up, because I think that it's intelligent to be gradual, for both the other person's comfort as well as my own, and to increase the chance that if they are open to it, that yeah, they may have like a positive, like a yes response. So there's some tact to it. So first, kind of flowed with the conversation that we were talking about stuff that we grew up with, and then I was like, oh, I was curious. I was just talking to other people about this. How did you grow up as far as like hugs? Was that something that you grew up with or not? I'm just like curious to hear your life experience with that. So we talked about that, and that felt like a nice kind of like icebreaker for me, gradual. And then again, oh gosh, yeah, it really stretches me some. Just to be honest, that like this is really a challenge for me. I We then switched topics, and like we talked for a while longer, and I was like, gosh, I really want to ask this. I really don't want to end this conversation without asking this or just offering it, to share hugs if you wanted to. Um, but I let it go for a while, and then eventually talk about something else, and I said like, oh well, I want to. I know it's a little bit awkward or something, or I feel a little awkward. It stretches my comfort zone to say this, but partially why I wanted to talk about the hugs was, yeah, I just want to share like if you ever wanted to share hugs, I'd be open to that. No pressure at all, totally to teach their own. But yeah, I haven't. I'd like would be enjoying more hugs in my life, and just want to kind of share that. And he was really graceful in his response, and said like, thanks, and like, yeah, I probably won't take you up on it just because of my like conditioning and my life experience. But thank you, and maybe if it's like a special situation, like I was saying, especially hard situation for you or traumatic or something, yeah, I may be open to it. Feel free to ask, but yeah, probably won't. And I perceived that I definitely felt awkward. I felt really awkward asking about it. And I've had lots of these conversations before, but it's been a while, and it's with someone who, yeah, I didn't know if we were on the same page as much. Um, and I perceived they maybe felt some awkwardness. I'm not sure. Um, but afterwards, I guess it felt so awesome. I was like, hell yes! Like I conquered my fear. I really was courageous. I really was brave. I took a risk. And even though the answer was basically no thanks, it felt so good. Like it really felt so good. One, to like get off the shame and fear of like guilt of like, oh gosh, I don't want to show up with people and say like I didn't say I didn't complete my goal. Um, but also it was like it feels really awesome for me. It almost always feels awesome for me to um, in a reasonable way ask for what I want, no matter the answer. I'm almost always, I don't know if I've thought of one time, okay, maybe like once or twice, uh, but almost always, I'm glad that I asked for what I want. Even when the answer is no thanks, or someone feels some awkwardness, if I'm coming at for that from a place of authenticity and like consideration for the other person, it's really worthwhile. I also felt it was also an awesome experience because I continued to build and improve my skill and ability to create what I want. Because I need to ask for what I want and take risks and feel emotions to create that, including platonic touch and closeness in my life. And it really made me think of this quote by a wonderful teacher named Byron Katie. Her quote is something like, um, "You can have anything in your life if you're willing to ask 1,000 people for it." And that's like so powerful to me Because it's like, if you're willing to, if we are willing to hear no, to have awkwardness and ask, not knowing the answer, if we really are willing to ask 1,000 people, it's like for most things in our life, yeah, we're gonna get it. Even some unusual stuff, or like, I think that's so powerful and inspiring. Um, and I also wanted to note from this experience the real power and importance of accountability, and it can also be like encouragement. Um, yeah, I really invite you to use people, use supportive people, use accountability to help you take action to create the life you want as far as connection and touch. I'm definitely a resource for that if you just want to email, if you want to do a session, or be at a platonic cuddle platonic cuddle party workshop about communication and consent. Um, yeah, and there's lots of wonderful resources. I'm just one. So I invite you to be in community and get support and have someone like there to be like, no matter what the result is, be like, heck yes, go you, or like, I know you can do it. I think it's really valuable. Thank you so much for listening and just being with me on this journey. I appreciate you. I platonically love you, and may it be, may it be for all of us that we have all we want in our lives. If you'd like to hear more about this stuff, my long videos, please, you can sign up for my newsletter below, free educational newsletter, and sometimes like free group events, things like that. Um, has discounts and stuff. And subscribe to this video, and please just feel free to reach out to me with any questions or any way I can help you. Hugs and platonic love. Till next time.